Hey, we're back again, the Coon Prairie Ramblers, singing a song, side by side.
Side by side.
Anyway, we were talking about the prom. Promenading through the prom and dancing and doing the jitterbug.
That's right. And Kenneth was just fixing to tell us about the 2 proms he went to.
What dance did you do at the prom?
What dance did you do?
The boogaloo?
I don't recall any particular type of step. It was, in fact, I was telling my mom made me go to the prom.
Tell us a story about.
I wasn't going to go.
Tell us a story about you having to work late. Or did we tell that on the air a while ago? Or
he got up. He worked at IGA up until it was time to go.
Go to the prom.
And his mom washed his truck for him.
And my mom washed my truck for me in order to it be clean because see we raised livestock, so
Your
it
mother
was
loved you.
And actually, and in fact, where we lived at, I recall Mom showing me how to dance because see, I'm not
a dancing person either.
I was doing the foxtrot though in the Charleston.
Something I learned out her style of dance for her generation because of her age was not what my generation was doing.
So you went to the prom and
I didn't try to do the 50s dance or the that
crazy
era. So, but our generation, because I'm not too far ahead of you.
2 years.
Back basically you stood there and you just moved around.
That's all this white boy can do. Trust me.
You wiggled.
Did the wiggle?
Yeah, and you pointed at things.
So that came on later, that disco stuff.
Of course, then there was always the few slow dances. So.
Yeah. That was the only part I could handle. I'm not
I know.
Dancer.
It's
all you got to do is just hang on and move your feet a little bit.
That's and sway.
Yeah, sway.
Do the sway.
Yeah.
What could you take to the prom? Junior year and senior year.
My first year was what she worked at Tinsley's was Martha.
Martha.
She was actually a couple years ahead of me in school, and everybody was in shock. But we went to the prom.
What was her last name? Martha.
At that time, it was Grantham.
Wow.
Royce you heard him at the coffee shop. He took that prom.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I heard that. So were the Fort Ogden Granthams? That was Dot's older sister.
Actually, it was just a date. It was nothing.
No, Dot was a Mercer.
It's
there's one another. Those Granthams from Fort Ogden.
Back in that day, I don't, as I was saying earlier, remember dating a lot. It's
me either.
It was just the fact is, guys like to be. We'd go out and have orange fights or something, or camping. It was.
That's right.
We weren't big into the dating.
Them girls had cooties. We didn't want none of that.
Cootie bugs.
We didn't want none of them cooties.
So,
we were into spinning donuts in the parking lot and pushing, shopping carts, around the parking lot.
Well, that happened too if they didn't get picked up. So
Mischief.
The only thing is when you worked at a grocery store, you didn't want to mess with no shopping carts because back then you gave service, So
that's right. If you want that quarter tip,
that's right. You bagged them groceries, you took it out and put it in their automobile.
You got a quarter tip. That was good.
They still do that at some stores. I won't name the brand.
Some of them offer it, but they I usually turn it down. Y'all don't need to get out in the heat, Florida heat. So.
Well, where'd you take your date? Y'all went out to eat first, and then you went to.
No, we didn't do that back then. Like I said, I just went from that time.
That's right. You didn't have time.
I didn't have time. Just went there and went to prom. Yes, because they used to live on West Oak Street. Martha did. So.
Did you take your senior year?
Did you sit outside and honk the horn, or did you go up and ring the doorbell?
I think I stood on the sidewalk.
And then you yelled, "Hey, come on, we gotta go."
Well, if you think back during the time, we weren't that. Everybody was close knit. There wasn't living in the country. It's you actually could. Of course, I grew up in Arcadia, so you could actually walk everywhere you need to go. I walked to school.
Yeah.
You walked to work. So.
Good old days before you had to start spending money on gas.
Mm-hmm.
So you went your senior year?
I went with Holly.
Holly Hart?
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous. Oh, she's such a sweetheart.
Yes.
Who does not love Holly Hart? My goodness.
She's still around?
Harley Purvis. She cut my ponytail off here a few weeks ago.
So.
She is a sweetheart.
So that's the two I went with.
You got pictures from the proms?
I don't think so.
What?
I don't think so.
We want to share them on because see, we do a YouTube version of this. He does, and it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you can go and listen to this, and you can see pictures of what we're talking about. Yeah. So we try to provide pictures.
If there was anything, it was probably in Mom's archives. I don't recall having anything. So.
Well, maybe we'll flash a picture of Holly Hart up there.
Yeah.
If I can find a picture of Martha, I'll send you that too.
Yeah.
I'll find them in the annuals.
Well, every now and then you see Holly because she does here. Martha, Martha, I haven't.
She just
I probably wouldn't know her if I saw her.
Is she around there still?
I have no idea. Since she graduated, like I said, it was just a date. So
just a date. One time
she worked. She was a cashier, and I was a bag boy. So
yeah,
that was it.
Or stalker, whatever you call it.
Just a date.
Oh, you're gonna get it now.
Oh, brother.
I went one year. I was a sophomore. I was supposed to have been a junior. I'd failed a grade, and so my date was a junior who was my age.
Mm-hmm.
So she took me to the prom. We went. It was the Thelma St. Hill. She took me to
picked you up at the door.
Took me to the prom. No, we double dated with my buddy Buford Brown, and he took crazy old Dot Mercer, and so we double dated. And Buford's mama Myrtle had just bought a brand new Le Mans. And so Buford took us to that. Well, we were in style. We went down to Port Charlotte and ate at a place called Smith's Plantation. It was a steakhouse down there many years ago, and we thought we was stepping in high cotton. Went to the prom.
And costing you a fortune.
Probably. I don't remember what it was. I borrowed a second cousin of mine's white sport coat. Didn't have a pink carnation, but his bow tie and his cummerbund, and I went and bought me a shirt to go with it, and I was good to go.
Yeah.
I got a picture of that I'll send you.
Well, it seems like a tux, because I rented a tux, which was at Mercer's men's store, was like $35 back then.
Wow. And Eaton's used to rent them out, too.
$35.
$35.
Well, you wouldn't touch one now for probably $150.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Wow.
So, when I was working they're out there on the curve crossing the BP station. They rent stuff out.
Yep.
And she was telling me the stuff that comes back in, especially, you don't want to touch it nowadays.
I heard that. You don't know who's had that on.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
well, in this little town of Arcadia, we got a tux and a formal right down the store right there on
the way.
Right, and
street.
it's not the first one. They've had several of those here over the years.
My daughter Hannah. I mean, this is my last kid. I think it's going to be my last. Anyway,
it better be.
And she was taking her dress. Somebody gave her a formal dress, thankfully, and it was handed down to her from a cousin. And she took it in to get it,
adjusted,
taken up a little bit. And people were in there. I'm thinking, man, I'm looking at whoa, and people going crazy over that dresses and tux. And man,
some of these outfits are families are big into big, like turning of age 16 thing parties. You know, I mean, they spend thousands.
Big as a wedding.
Yeah,
I've been to some of them.
They got the quinceanera. That's the quince. When you turn 15,
right?
They get a quinceanera or something like that. Anyway,
she would know about that.
Oh, I can't believe how much they get. Why can't you just wear a shirt and tie? I mean, Hannah got her dress fixed up. Then she went to the beauty shop and they decorated her face. Well, you make up your face. You don't decorate your face.
Make up your face. Make up your mind and make up your face.
Did her hair and they call it a waterfall. And man, and her picture was on.
Her face was a waterfall.
Her hair. The way it was kind of braided and stuff.
Cascading down the side of her head.
And we peeled out a whole bunch of money and paid for it. And she went to the prom, and the next day, it was all gone.
Ain't she
the hair was straight, the makeup was off, it was all gone.
Ain't she a little young to be going to the prom?
She was 15.
I think
prom. Actually, she helped, because she's on student council, she was required to go to the prom.
Okay, well, I think I'm interested in that now, but we're out of time for this segment. We have to come back and revisit this whole thing with Hannah going on dates and stuff. Cause there's rumors swirling right now, so y'all buckle up.
It sounds like advertising to me.
That's right. Might be a bumpy ride, so y'all buckle up. And we'll be back in a couple. Y'all hold tight.